Graham said, it's a huge pleasure to be here and a huge pleasure to be invited to be here, and it's a great pleasure that you're here too, because that, you know, 100%, right? I'm not going to repeat that story, but just lovely people turn up, you know? Because I know when people don't, they won't. Can I tell that story? I know you heard it twice this week.
Huh?
Will I tell the story about...
Oh, do!
I hate saying this.
No, it's good.
Okay, it's very brief, and then I'll read this, right?
Yeah. No, don't.
And it's sort of nose to, like, no, it's just I talked to Valerie twice this week, right? I thought she's going to say, she's getting nightmares over it, right? Like, we'll go into, like, some lecture hall and no one here. But, and actually, I'm sorry. You have to go outside there, guys. Because I repeat myself, but I run it anyway, right? Yeah. Basically, reading is part of writing, right? And when you start writing, you never think that reading is going to be part of it. You think it's about writing, then someday somebody says, "Will you do a reading?" You say, "What? You must read this stuff." And then you realise that that's the way there's my interest, and you realise I can't read, right? And I said, "Oh, Jesus." So anyway, I was asked to do a reading, and I thought, what do you mean do reading? They're saying, well, like, you read your own stuff. You're joking me. I said, no, honestly. So I was asked to a reading in a library out in the county, right? And I won't say the town, because once again, it's all about discretion, this world, right? That's why we're fiction. And so I said, oh, geez, I'd love to. I thought, God almighty, I'd love to read fast, right? But the problem is, this is a very small library, right? And it's like only a small town, more like a village. It's called a village, actually, but it is a town. And the library is only open 2 days a week. I think people know who it is, but no one's really quite sure what 2 days it's open, right? So you just have to look and I can't admit it, right? But the point is that, so I arrived out there and lo and behold it was open. So I said, oh, geez, that's great, right? And I went in, right? And being totally new to readings, this was about 20 years ago, I just said, okay, I'm here to read, and I realised there was no one there, right? And I said, oh God, this isn't great now, right? So I said, and as I was saying, that I started on that side of the library, it's only a shop basically, right? And I started, like, I was into animals at the time, I was always into animals actually. I started A for aardvark, and I walked right around to Z for zoology, and then she was standing at the desk there, right? And then she says, can I help you? And I said, yeah, fine. I said, are you looking for a book? And I said, just looking around. I said, have you got a reading here today? And she says, no. And I said, oh, great, is that right? And I was just going to leave, so thank God, right? And then she said, actually, now that you mentioned there was some word of a reading, all right? And I said, oh, fuck. And I said, no, there wasn't. You just said there was. She said, no, there was something. And she was looking at the desk, and I was trying to get out of the place, right? And when I got to the door, an elderly man came to the door, right? And he had been, well, he said where he'd been. He said, Mary, not a Mary, not to say Mary, right? Said, Mary, is there a reading here today, right? And she said, actually, no. She said, actually, this man just asked the same thing. And I said, there isn't. I said, I just asked her. And she said, there isn't, right? And she said, I heard there was something about, right? And I said, there definitely isn't. You told me there wasn't, right? And then she said to him, so what makes you think it's a reading? He said, well, they're talking about it down at the post office, right? I said, the post office? What do they know about it, right? And I was trying to get out the door. Next thing, he steps inside and he closes the inside door, and if he goes behind him on the wall is a poster saying reading in library 10:30 Tuesday morning, right? And it's sure, geez, there it is, right? I knew it was somewhere, I thought somewhere, right? But the problem was there was a photograph of me in the middle of it, right? And your aunt says, she says, oh Jesus, says, that's you, she said. And I said, no, it's not. So, but you have to be proven guilty, don't you? I mean, come on, like the Cork Street one, I vote. But next thing, she says, he says, no, that's you, all right. And I said, show us. I said, actually, you're right, that's me, right. So I said, okay. She said, oh, you're here to do reading. I said, yeah, I suppose. She said, she was new to readings too. And she said, what do you need, right? And I said, basically an audience, right? And he said, Jerry, you be the audience. And Jerry said, I'd love to. What do I do? I said, sit down the next week. Sit down next week. And it was like, we were sitting on these little mushroom stools, but it's the kids section, right? And I was reading, and my first time reading, and it was very much like, the cat's out, and he was there saying, what? Because he was deaf, right? And I was saying, no, he wasn't deaf, he just bad hearing one ear, so he had to move to the other side. And he didn't understand the constant reading, and neither did I. There was three of us hadn't a clue what I was going to actually do, right? And he says to me, he kept trying to second guess the story. He said, George, what happened next? I said, no. I know exactly what I wrote this, right? It took me a long time. And I said, what's going to happen next? You're going to be very quiet, and this is the end of it. I got teacherly, right? And anyway, the point I'm making is that, thanks for turning up, really. That's the good thing. So I'm going to read this very quickly, and I'm sorry I got carried away there. Very sorry, I rumbled it.